Next up, we are going to have the amazing actress Kelly Rutherford come on up. Kelly. Watch your step. Right here.
I didn't know whether to wear heels or yoga pants to this. What do I
Both,
do?
whatever
I'm
you're
wearing yoga
comfortable.
pants underneath here. No, I'm kidding.
So thank you for being here. So I think a lot of people are aware you went through this long, terrible custody battle.
Really?
Yes, I think they know.
Did anyone hear about it?
Terrible, drawn out. You lost custody of your
Yeah.
2 children, your ex in Europe. But we're not going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about that is how you got through it.
Yeah.
And so, how did you stay sane during
not.
this thing?
I'm just here to tell you I'm not. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
there you go.
How do you get through anything? I think we all have something in
Yep.
our lives, right? And so I think one of the ways that I got through it was really gratitude for all the blessings in my life. I have 2 beautiful, healthy children, knock on wood, and my ex-husband's a handsome guy, and he, he's a good father.
Yep.
And, sometimes people go through rough times.
So what did gratitude look for you when you're going through this? Like, what is that? What did that practice look like?
Sometimes it was just thankful to get up and get a cappuccino in the morning,
Yes.
and and get on with the day. But it was many things. Just being able to give birth at Cedar Sinai in LA instead of the field in some
Yep.
rural part of the world.
Some people do that here.
Yeah, exactly. We try in LA. And we breastfeed until they go to college, but it's all weird and concoct. It's LA for you. But yes, I tried to do the field thing, and I was like, no, epidural after 10 hours. Like, no. So, you're thankful for all the things that you're not going through, I suppose, right?
And so you're going through this, did you ever have, there's a saying that God doesn't give you any more than you can handle.
Right.
Like, what did you want to rip that saying apart while you were going through this, or what did you feel like? Like, what did you learn about yourself in this process?
Well, I learned that, part of this is my own children's path, and maybe they chose it. My childhood had some adversity. We moved around a lot. My mom was married a few times. I became an actress. It was like a lot of change, different, so sometimes you think as long as they're okay and healthy and happy and we're being good parents, in whatever capacity we can be under the circumstances, that was the important thing. And you're right. Look, people go through crazy things in this life, And so it's I think we all find out what we're made of through those times. We don't find out shopping at Bergdorf's,
Right.
Sometimes it's a good distraction, but we find out, by adversity. How do we deal? What books, you find certain books, certain people, certain places like this out of it.
Right. Were there certain things or constants you're going through this process and it's torturous and there are days when I'm sure you just can't take anymore? Like, what was there a constant there, or was there a book or something where a moment or?
Yeah, there was a woman that is a prenatal masseuse, and her name is Seva Simran Khalsa.
Oh.
And when I first started going through this, I was pregnant. So this all started, I had a 2-year-old and I was 4 months pregnant and working. And so she said to me, I came to her, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? What am I going to do? Because I kind of knew what was coming. And she said, well, I just want you to visualize your children happy and healthy every day. And I want you to visualize them divinely guided and protected and dancing around, and it's going to be okay. So, and I've obviously read Abraham Hicks and all these different people, because I think there's something too, when you're going through all of the reality of something, to visualize it being healed and, visualize things being solved and resolved, because it's so easy. And I've been a part of being caught up in it all, and you're so caught up. But nothing is ever as it seems, it really isn't.
So what would that visualization practice look like? Did you would you take a step back here and there? Like, what would that look like?
Well, instead of focusing on what I didn't want to happen, which were the
Right.
fears and the, oh my God, I would start to say, okay, well, what do you want? What do you want? And which is a very different way to
Sure.
think in a panic situation, where you're feeling panicked or worried or upset or out of control, let's say. When I would get anxiety, because had a lot of anxiety. I still occasionally have anxiety. I sit and I go, okay, well, because you're trying to control something here. You can't control
Right.
the future. You can't control people and how they perceive things or their actions, but you can control what you do want. And I think we're much more powerful than we know. I don't think we're raised knowing how powerful we are and that the thoughts that we have are creating our future. And we're all powerful creators. And we're not all necessarily raised to think that or to know that in the same way that, the Dalai Lama's born and we're like, you're a powerful creator, and he becomes
so
this
cute,
powerful
yeah.
creator, right? Well, because if every child was raised
Yep.
like that, it might look different.
So what does taking care of yourself look like today, and how has that evolved as you've grown in this process?
Well, I write in the morning. I read really, really inspiring things. I try to give back, and I just try to be the best I can be, and also be kind to myself. When I feel like I kind of get going and get spinning. I think
Sure.
we all do. Got my text. I got this. I got to go here. I got to go, and just to center and say, okay, what's my intention right now? And it's something that's in today's society
Yep.
hard, is to focus on each moment and to enter a new, going from backstage to here to being with you. We're in new sort of segments throughout our day.
And how do you tap into that inner knowing, that center, that intuition?
How I feel, it's a feeling thing. I think we have a intuition, an inner guidance system, whatever you want to call it, that if we're feeling good, chances are we're in a good place to create. And if we're feeling not good, unhappy, upset, we have to sort of go back to our source and connect to, okay, what thoughts am I thinking? What am I worried about? And how do I shift that thought process into what I want to be creating versus what I'm not consciously creating?
Right. And how have you learned the challenge of also like trying to consciously create something, but at the same time being able to take a step back and say, I'm going to let go?
Well, you do let go because you can't control I can't control anyone in this room.
We can try.
No.
We've got
I
microphones.
mean, but my point is we
Sure.
aren't here to,
Sure.
so all we do have, I think the power to do as individuals is listen to what we're feeling and go, okay, what's that? And reach for a better thought, reach for a better experience than maybe we're feeling right now. And be more conscious that all these thoughts, all the words that we say, the people we're around, all of this is a part of creating. And focus on what we do want. We all talk a lot about what we don't want.
Right.
And so we create more of
Right.
it. And we're like, why is my life like this?
Right. And so intuition, a great story you told. You have a story around scuba
Yes.
with your son around intuition.
Yes.
Do you want to tell that?
Yeah, this summer my son didn't want to go to one of his scuba classes, and his dad was really excited about him going and getting his stamp and all of this. And he had been up all night and he wasn't feeling good. So we're driving, there, and he's saying, Mommy, I don't feel good. And I said, I know, but your dad's going to have he's going to be really upset. You're not going to get your stamp and all this stuff. So we showed up. And it was actually a great moment with my ex-husband and I, because I saw him kind of go, okay, he's got to man up. And I was like, okay, well, there are times you don't have to man up. And how we kind of, in that moment, co-parented based on my son's ability to stand up for himself and his own thing, saying, no, I really can't go. I really don't want to go. I really don't feel good. And honoring that in himself. And I said, this is amazing. I wish we all did this. We just listened to ourselves, because we have expectations and we're all supposed to be tough and show up and man up. And,
Sure.
Sometimes you just have to listen to Adele and have a good cry.
Sure.
Whatever that song is, the one that got away. But how does it go?
And so how do you talk about expectations, showing up, how does that all play with what you do? You're an actress in Hollywood, which that's always not easy.
Yeah.
What does that look like in that world?
What does what look like?
Well, listening to your intuition,
Yeah.
expectations, trying to lower, like, it's competitive, it's Hollywood. How do you
Well,
go
I
from
think it's
one?
the same thing. You have to say, what do I want? You know,
Right.
we make choices. You have to say, what do I want? Do you want to go in and have a good time? Do you want to go in and do the best you can do? And do I want to trust that the universe is going to guide me to exactly where I need to be of service and to be of
Sure.
whatever? And it kind of makes it a lot more fun when you show
Right.
up in a room. You're like, okay, I think my bra strap is down. Sorry. It's like kind of distracting me. Is it my bra? Yeah, it is my
It's
bra.
okay. We're just on live stream. It's
Sorry.
not the
well,
Today Show, but
you
we could have a new
know,
format.
At my age, you got to keep everything,
Yeah.
you know, we're you know, anything uneven. We can't touch this up like Instagram. There's no like,
No.
shh. Okay.
So,
And they're real, by the way.
so
But I do like Botox.
well, so what's your relationship with your ex like today compared to where it was, and
Well-
how have you grown there, and what's
Yeah, it's progressed, you know. It's not really important. It's not, because my kids know they're loved, and you know, they're just amazing people.
Yep.
You know, and every time I'm with them, I'm like, how can I be the best mom for you? What do I need to do? You know, and your dad, I know he's being the best dad he can for you too. You know, he is. He's being the best he can be. Whatever that is,
Right.
I have to believe that. I mean, do I wish things were different? Yeah, but because I've sort of focused on things being better, I think they have gotten better. And I'm less in the drama of things.
Yep.
But my kids mostly want a credit card and a driver. That's what they really want. Well, Mom, I want a PlayStation. I'm like, that's how you could be the best mom in the world.
how old
I'm
are
like,
they? They're
at least we're honest.
8 and 10.
7 and 10,
7 and
almost
10.
10, yeah.
And so, what advice, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your 20-something self?
Oh, I would definitely have more fun and and not worry so much. You know, I think I was so serious, you know,
Right.
then, and
How so?
just, you know, I worried so much more about what people think or my body or, you know, just being liked and more about the outside and how the outside perceived me versus how I perceive the outside world and how, I mean, I was always sort of doing vision boards and creating. I think
Oh,
I
really?
learned that very early. My mother was amazing. You know, she had me read Ayn Rand and
Really?
creative visualization and all these things.
So, what was like your first vision board?
I don't even remember. I remember there was a girl named Tawny Lewis at my high school, and she had bangs that always got in her eye. And we used to sit after school and like cut out magazines, and she taught me how to do, I don't think she thought of it as a vision board, it was like collages. And we'd pick out our favorite sayings and images, and I didn't realize that that was the beginning of sort of creating an imagery and how visual we all are. And you know, you can put something up on your wall and just look at it as you walk by, and it'll come into your experience. It's amazing. I mean, things that I did years ago have come into my experience now.
Anything specific you can share?
People, I
Right.
mean, people that I've met even, just people that I was, you know, I mean, I grew up loving Susan Sarandon as an actress, and she and I ended up speaking the UN, you know, Women for Peace together, and I got to meet her and talk, you know, things like
Yep.
that, where you just, you don't always know.
How do you like Instagram as a modern vision board?
I'm completely obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. And I don't like to do a ton of selfies, so I do a lot of quotes.
Okay, well, you have lovely
'Cause
quotes. If you're
I
not
like
following
quotes.
Kelly on Instagram, always inspirational. That's how we found you.
It's like therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you so
Kelly
much.
Rutherford, thank you.
Oh.
You're great. Thank you.